For those of you who are new to Presto English, welcome to our channel. You'll find videos to help you improve your English here, and be sure to subscribe and like this video to show your support and encourage us to come up with exciting content in the future. For those CELPIP test takers who have their exam within the next few weeks, join our 7-day online training to get yourself as much practice as you can and boost your chance of getting the score you desire. Our training is online and you can practice anytime during the training session. You won't have to be available at a specific time. If you're curious, you can read reviews from our past participants on our Facebook page or go to our website www.prestoenglish.com, and you can also get a free CELPIP speaking guide there. By the way, we now have a similar session for IELTS test takers too. So it's not just CELPIP test takers who can practice with us. If you're taking IELTS, feel free to join us. Now, let's jump right into our listening practice. Part 4. Listening to a news item.
The teenage Saudi asylum seeker who fled Saudi Arabia 2 weeks ago has been granted asylum by Canada. Rahaf Mohammed Al-Kunan, 18, arrived at Toronto's Pearson International Airport on Saturday. Rahaf was all smiles as she was whisked through the airport wearing a hoodie emblazoned with the word Canada. Rahaf is fleeing alleged abuse by her family, whom she claims want to kill her. She was detained in Bangkok on January 6th while trying to board a flight to Australia, where she initially wanted to seek asylum. She appealed for help on Twitter, and her plight gained worldwide attention. She was then granted refugee status by the United Nations Commission on Human Rights. Canada's decision to grant asylum to Rahaf could worsen relations between Canada and Saudi. Relations are already strained after Canada called for the release of a jailed Saudi human rights activist. Saudi suspended new trade with Canada, froze Saudi flights to and from Toronto, and cancelled scholarships for Saudi students in Canada. This is Cynthia Jones reporting from Vancouver, Canada.
Part 5. Listening to a discussion. Have you heard, Meg? Now our company lets us use Airbnb instead of booking hotel rooms. They want to give us more options.
Yeah, I have heard of it. I've looked at the website a couple of times. So how does it work?
Basically, what it works is if somebody owns a house, they can rent out a room, and so you find the house online, and then you book it with the scheduling system online, and then you pay Airbnb the money, and then the people let you stay in their house.
What are the costs usually? Is it expensive?
It can be really cheap or really expensive. You have both ends. You can find a cheap shared room to stay in, or you can rent an entire luxury house for yourself. When we travel as a group for our conference or out-of-town meetings with our team, renting a house can be cheaper than booking multiple hotel rooms.
Would you say that it's safe?
Yeah, I guess that's the biggest concern. It seems to be safe. I mean, from what I see.
Nothing is completely safe, even staying at a hotel. We just need to use common sense. If we book a place that has great reviews from previous guests, I don't think we need to be concerned about safety. But I'm not sure I'd like to spend more time browsing the site to find a place I like. After all these years, I already know which hotels I like.
So what do you think? Would you be interested in doing something like Airbnb?
Yeah, I definitely think so. After researching a place, maybe if it had a lot of pictures and it seemed clear that it would be safe and yeah, I think I'd like to do it.
And actually, their website's fantastic. They often have like the Google Street Cam thing, so you can see what the house looks like on the inside, and then you could actually do the rotating camera and see what the neighborhood looks like. And then everybody leaves reviews about the owner and about their stay there, so you get a good feel about what the place is like. So,
yeah, it sounds interesting, especially the reviews. I think knowing someone else has had a good experience, I would definitely be interested in doing it.
yeah, definitely.
Well, this September, we'll all have to go to Toronto for our annual sales conference. I guess that's your chance to give it a try. And let me know how it goes. Part 6. Listening to Viewpoints.
A new study says naps aren't a lazy indulgence. In moderation, they may actually be good for your heart. In a new paper published in the journal Heart, researchers found that Swiss adults who took 1 or 2 daytime naps per week had a lower risk of heart problems, including heart disease and strokes, than non-nappers. Since inadequate sleep is a known risk factor for a host of health problems, including cardiovascular issues, naps' ability to replace lost nighttime sleep could make them a healthy habit. Almost 3,500 Swiss adults ages 35 to 75 took part in the study. They provided researchers information about their napping habits, nighttime sleep, demographics, and lifestyle information, and underwent a range of medical tests meant to assess their overall health. More than half of participants said they hadn't napped during the week before the study began. During up to 8 years of follow-up, 155 people had a heart problem. The researchers found that people who took 1 or 2 daytime naps per week had a lower risk of cardiovascular issues than non-nappers, even adjusting for excessive daytime sleepiness, which can be a symptom of underlying health issues, nighttime sleep duration, and demographic and lifestyle factors. The connection between more frequent naps and heart health wasn't as strong. These short snoozes could be a valuable way to relieve stress and compensate for inadequate sleep at night, thereby protecting heart health, the paper says. Sleep deprivation is a known risk factor for conditions including obesity, diabetes, high blood pressure, stroke, heart disease, and mental distress, according to the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. So naps could help the roughly 1/3 of Americans who don't get the recommended minimum 7 hours of rest per night. The new study did find an exception for adults older than 65. They did not see heart health benefits associated with occasional napping, perhaps because they tend to have more health problems and nap for longer amounts of time than younger adults, according to the study. While the new study did not find a strong link between nap duration and heart health, previous studies have linked long naps to cardiovascular issues. The study was limited by its observational design, which allows researchers to find only patterns, not cause and effect, and by the fact that participants self-reported their nap habits, meaning their recollection could have been imperfect. The study sample also had a relatively low number of heart issues overall. Still, the research adds support to the notion that napping is a healthy habit.
That's the second half of the listening test. If you haven't done the first half, check out our previous video to practice. Do you enjoy watching this video? Hit like and subscribe so you'll be notified when we post new content. Remember to sign up for our CELPIP training on our website before your test. Let's have a look at the answers. Task 4. Number 1. The teenage girl is originally from B. Saudi Arabia. She ran away from Saudi Arabia to flee to Australia, but she failed and ended up in Canada. 2. The girl Rahaf tried to escape her country because C. Her life was in danger. Her family is abusive towards her, and she made a claim that the family wanted to kill her. 3. Her journey to seek asylum met a setback when she was not allowed to leave the airport in B. Bangkok. She was on her way to Australia, but she was stopped in Bangkok. 4. The relationship between Canada and Saudi was already tense before this incident because of D. Canada's demand to release an activist. Canada requested that Saudi Arabia release the jailed human rights activist. 5. As a response to Canada's unwelcome request, Saudi Arabia decided to D. Discourage students to study in Canada. They did that by canceling student scholarship in Canada. Part 5. 1. Where would employees need to stay according to the previous policy when on business travel? It's C. Hotels, because now the new policy is they can choose Airbnb if they wish. 2. What is Meg mostly concerned about? From the discussion, we know that she's concerned about her own safety. She just wanted to know the cost, but that was not her concern. 3. What do we know about the cost of using Airbnb? It's D. The cost may vary. Mark said that you can find the cheap ones, but the expensive options are also available for those who are looking for, let's say, luxury accommodation. 4. What does Mark suggest to stay safe during their stay? B. They still need to be careful of their surrounding. What Mark said was to use common sense, and being careful of our surrounding is part of that. 5. What may convince Meg to stay at an Airbnb accommodation? A. Seeing what the house looks like before she books it. She mentioned that she wanted to look at pictures of the house. And 6. What does Todd like about Airbnb? B. He likes the fact that he can see the house and the neighborhood prior to booking it. 7. Why would they need to find accommodation soon? It's C. They're going to a conference in Toronto. And 8. Who is the least likely to use Airbnb? The answer is C. Mark, because he showed some hesitation during the discussion, and he wanted the other people to try first and let him know of their experience. Task 6. 1. We should watch out for daytime sleepiness because it can be warning us of a health problem. That's A. So when you feel sleepy during the day and it happens very often, you may actually have health problems, and probably it's a good idea for you to go see a doctor. 2. The study says the people who took nap displays C. Lower risks of cardiovascular issues. 3. According to the study, higher frequency of naps shows B. A weak connection to heart health. So they couldn't conclude the connection between the two. They didn't see a strong connection. 4. Taking naps can improve our heart health by D. Relieving our stress. In addition to that, the other thing that the clip actually says is it helps replace inadequate sleep that we have at night. And 5. The older age group gains no benefit from napping. B. Which is quite interesting. They suspect that it's because a lot of these old people have a lot of health problems, and as a result, they spend a lot of their time sleeping already. And 6. One caveat of the study is the fact that C. Participants might report incorrect information. This is because they self-reported their nap habits. Nobody was directly observing them. How did you do this time? Let me know your score in the comments and tell us what you think is the most difficult part of the listening section. For those of you who are busy and have no time to attend classes, our CELPIP and IELTS training are perfect for you. The time is flexible, which means you can practice whenever you want. A quick reminder, if you want to check the schedule for our upcoming CELPIP or IELTS training, go to our website at prestoenglish.com. Our Facebook page also has reviews from people who have joined our training in the past. Sign up today and give yourself the best chance to score well in the CELPIP test. Feel free to contact us if you have any questions. Anyway, thanks for watching. Good luck in your test.